Live. All right, welcome to part 4 of the severe weather broadcast here. We're covering some pretty
You might want to exit out of the
significant.
Skype thing up there.
Okay, we're covering some pretty significant thunderstorms. I'm going to go over the first one that's affecting the populated area. This one has a well-defined hook echo. I'll show that here real quick on the pen. Delete that. Okay, here is the hook. This is a reference. Well-defined hook echo. Here's where the inflow is coming in, just a reference point. And the area I am looking at for rotation is right here in purple. That's where I'm looking for that rotation. So, delete that. This is going to be tracking off to the north and east. If you're in Lake Charles, watch out. Hail to the size of 1.5 inch, and the possibility of a tornado is increasing. This area, the tornadic portion of the storm, is heading straight for the town of Iowa. So if you're in Iowa, be on the lookout for the storm. This will likely get reissued as a severe thunderstorm warning and possibly even a tornado warning, depending on if this has location from the radar. Now, going south, we have a pretty interesting looking supercell heading to the northeast. As I can tell, there's no storms in the path for a long way. The next town in the path is Gaiden, and is tracking off to the north and east. I'll show you what the area of rotation is. Not as well defined of a hook echo, but there is a hook. Storm. Seriously. The tornado threat is not that high with it, but we're going to continue to monitor this for possibilities. Very broad circulation that sometimes gets tight. Broad circulation right in this general vicinity, tracking off to the north and east. Now moving on to another storm. Very strong rotation with this storm. The storm is heading towards Hackberry, and I'm seeing a very strong rotation with this storm. Dangerous storm. This is kind of actually a pretty good chance of maybe predicting a tornado even, as it's heading towards the east northeast of Hackberry. So heads up Hackberry, this is a pretty good chance of being issued as a tornado warning. We have a new update now on the reflectivity. It's rain wrapped. If there's a tornado, it is rain wrapped with this storm, and that's going to be the way most storms are going to be. And now we're going to be switching our gears to the storm up here. We have a pretty intense bowing segment up here. Very high winds with this. I'll switch over to the storm relative velocity, showing a very intense bowing section with a very high winds with this. Winds of 60 to 70, maybe even an isolated 80-mile-per-hour wind gust along this line. I'll show you what the line is. The line would be right along here. This is where we're going to be expecting these high winds, tracking off to the north and east at around 60 miles per hour. Winds with this could, I'm not saying it will, but winds could be upwards of 60, 70, maybe even I say 80 miles per hour as it tracks to the northeast. So that storm needs to be watched, or storms needs to be watched very carefully. It's heading towards Glenmora, Woodworth, Forest Hill, Meeker, Limerick, Chambers. So now off to weather expert Blake and his opinion on this severe weather.
Yes, indeed, and I got some timings on the severe weather, the storm in Lake Charles near the radar. I got some timings when it loads. I'll tell you guys. Well, scratch that. It just went away. Now, looking at the sail that's just coming on shore. Let me share my screen. Looking at it, there is a hook forming. The sail times are around 10:25. It'll be around this area. At 10:40, it'll be around this area. And around 10:55, this area. And around and then around 11:10, it'll go in between Haplin and Gaiden. And there's pretty strong rotation on severe weather. I mean, on a storm relative velocity. And if you'd look, it is showing it's not as strong. If we can just get a volume scan on that in a few minutes, maybe we can just get good. Screen stop sharing. Let's take a peek at GR level 2 analyst now, as screen share. Hide. We screen sharing? Yes. It's still screen sharing, Freddy, even though. Anyway, back to the thing. If Freddy, you can turn off your share screen. Maybe I can get a volume scan on this to show you guys, where we can get in depth on the storm. But back to the other storm. Whoopsie. Alright. Now back to the level 3 radar. It's coming on shore. The rotation seems to be getting tighter. And Grand Chenier, the worst is done for you. Just expect some heavy rain. And there's a TVS of 5 near Port Arthur and Holly Beach that's going to be moving south of Lake Charles. Then we have this sail near Port Arthur, and the times for that sail, this sail is 10:25. Around 10:40, it's going to be moving through Hackleberry. Around 10:55, it's going to be moving through Grand Lake, and then around 11:10, it's going to be entering Hayes or just at Highway 14. As we're going to get a volume scan on this real quick. Let me get it loaded. If it will load, maybe it will load.
I got
a little
update.
Radar issue.
I have an update.
But looking at the storm near Grand Lake, yes, as I was saying, and it looks like it'll be moving off to the northeast, possibly through Lake Arthur, Jennings, Easterwood, North, Gaiden, Easterwood, and Crowley.
I got an important update to say.
As if we can just get a volume scan on this.
Blake.
Why isn't it loading?
Blake.
I
have an important update to say. The storm appears to be developing a donut hole, heading towards Hackberry, velocity, and it's all kind of lining up right next no correlation coefficient, but there is a donut hole with velocity there. Another thing, the storm that's affecting higher population area, Lake Charles, Iowa, and Westlake, Gooseport. That storm has a well-defined hook echo, so also that storm is kind of a concern of mine. Watching that one too. I'll read off the warning states for these. Anyways, also there's a cell at the shore here to the west of Grand China, and has Rusty has not updated for some reason. Way down here. There is a couplet. Highlight here. This is where the couplet is. Tracking off to the north and east. So area of rotation tracking to the north and east. The good news about the storm is it's not heading towards any population areas for a long time. But later on, it's going to be in the path. Also, strong rotation is to be indicated with
Indeed. All right. It is 10:25 back. 5 minutes till 10:25. At 10:30, we'll sign off. Probably till about 10:40, and then we'll come back on, or we'll break back in if any information. But as of now, everything's looking remainingly quiet. Most of the storms seem to be dying off. This watch looks like to expire near. It'll be expiring around 9. It's decimal. It seems to be expiring pretty soon. It's not matching up like it's not Zulu time or Universal or Central time. I don't know what it is. It's weird. But anyway, it's probably gonna be expiring around 10 or 11 or 12 actually, as it is. We do have pretty good rotation. Though as it looks like, I mean, if you just look at all the storms that's dying off, we're down to 4 warnings. Actually, a total of 7 warnings. And as we'll take a look at our watch box, here we go. TVS is not there. Take a look at our watch box. As you see, it includes a lot of Louisiana, or the watch counties. And if you want to take a look at the watch box, here you go. And then here's a combination of both. This seems to have been a bit expired still, but here you go.
Blake Jarrett screen sharing.
I don't know. As we'll come back with the next update after we sign off at 10:30 for a while.
For a little bit. For a while.
Yeah. Probably till like.
Good news, that storm is trying to weaken its rotation.
If all warnings are expired, we'll just stay up and make sure they all.
Keep an eye on the storm heading east off the Gulf. Still has some rotation. It's kind of losing it. At the moment, I'm not seeing anything that was any real significant rotation except for stuff offshore, which is now heading east. Most likely will remain offshore for a while. Going to head back to the storms in central Louisiana, which these storms have this cluster of storms is still very being indicated by radar as it tracks north and east at very high rates of speed. Warning states moving east at 40 miles per hour. I'm seeing it more 50 or 50 plus. But monitoring cell near Lake Charles, Gooseport, Iowa, Woodland. on Brandon, moving northeast towards Iowa. The storm is too close to the radar to really see a really good rotation signature with it. So when it got to the radar dead zone, it's had a very well-defined hook. So going to remain watching that farther radar and see what the rotation is. And yes, there's actually a pretty strong rotation with that, at least at the upper levels. So it is a supercell thunderstorm. It's just going to see what's happening at the lower level. The one that's moved out far enough on that specific storm.
Yes, as we are approaching our sign-off time, if anything happens, we'll break back in. This is significant weather now. Signing off.
Okay, mute your microphone. Did you mute your microphone?
Look at my latest post, Freddy.